first before she touched it. The parchment had been left on the narrow desk inside her assigned quarters, although the door had been locked from the outside and the words had not shifted. It sat beneath the guttering candle as it belonged there, pale and patient, with her name written across the front in a hand she recognized despite herself. Miss Granger. Not Hermione, not prisoner, not mudblood, though the regime has brought that word back into legal use with a sort of bureaucratic calm that made cruelty look like paperwork. Miss Granger. The insult was in the restraint. She stood barefoot on the cold floor and stared at the seal. The wax was black, but something green moved under its surface. The thing shimmered like venom beneath glass. Her wand had been taken 3 years ago. Her books were censored. Her meals arrived through a slot in the door. Yet the ministry still expected her to identify curses by sight, catalog dead languages, and translate forbidden marginalia for the men who had ruined the world. The world outside her door had learned to speak in decrees. After Voldemort's victory, the ministry had not fallen so much as changed costumes. The same lifts still groan between departments. The same memos still flutter through the air. The same clerks still queued for TV in its ceilings, jumped to show a sky that no longer belonged to anyone. But every corridor now carried the black banner. Every public notice ended with the Dark Lord's seal. Every law had been rewritten to make cruelty sound procedural. The status was no longer prejudice matter at their tables. It was policy. Macabre wizards were registered, relocated, repurposed, or disappeared. Half-blood families were audited for loyalty. Pure blood houses were ranked according to sacrifice, obedience, and usefulness. Hogwarts had reopened as a training institution for approved bloodlines. Its library purged, its portraits silenced, its classroom turned towards discipline instead of wonder. The work had not ended, it had become administration. Hermione had been the new world. Hermione had seen the new world from behind doors, the archive, the interrogation rooms, the mystery cell they called assigned quarters because prison sounded inelegant on paperwork. She knew the shape of the regime by its absences. No wasted products in shop windows, no macabre names on office doors, no memorials, no public grief. Grief suggested the dead had mattered, and the victorious could not allow that kind of disorder. They had kept her alive because knowledge was harder to replace than bodies. The letter whispered her name, Hermione. Her fingers tightened around the back of her chair. No, she said. The candle flame bent toward the parchment. Refusal had become one of the new luxuries left to her, and she spent it carefully. She refused to lower her eyes when officials entered the archive. She refused to thank guards for stale bread. She refused to translate anything without first memorizing enough of it to use it later. She would not open a letter from Draco Malfoy simply because it knew how to say her name. The parchment punished her on the third whisper. Pain struck her left wrist, clean and sudden. Hermione gasped before she could stop herself. Hermione reached for the letter because pain was information, and information could become weapon. The wax seal broke under her thumb. Inside, the writing was as precise as the name on the front. It's Granger. You will answer the following questions before dawn. First, identify the binding structure in the attached fragment. Second, determine whether the phrase marked in red is a vow, curse, or a witness clause. Third, do not lie. DM. Hermione read it twice, then a third time, because the final instruction had not been written in ink. It had been cut into the page. Do not lie. She laughed once, quietly, without humor, still fond of ordering people around Malfoy. Parchment warm being her hand. There was no attachment fragment. Of course there wasn't. But not the request for translation. It was a test for a reading, or a trap disguised as one. The ministry had grown more elegant since Winnie no longer screamed in every corridor. Sometimes it sent the letter and let the victim provide the fear herself. Hermione turned the page over, blank. She held it close to the candle. No hidden script emerged, no watermark, no obvious rune lattice. That meant that the enchantment had been worked into the fiber before the parchment had been cut. Old magic, expensive magic, pure blood magic, pressed in manners and sharpened at the edges. Her wrist dropped. Opened it and faded, leaving a red outline behind. She took the stub of pencil she had hidden inside the loose seam of her mattress. Ink was monitored. Pencil could be erased, swallowed, burned. Pencil was not supposed to count. On the blank space